Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your continued support. I normally have a little blue wavy thing behind me, but I think my daughter has stolen it, so I'm going to try and find that and put it back on again at some point. Right, so as you'll know from my previous videos, ITV were the ones who claimed to have broken the news about this £6 billion worth of benefit cuts. Now they've gone on to say that they believe, according to what they've been told, that the government might be in a position, or might be thinking about a position, to protect the very most vulnerable people who are on benefits from these cuts. So it's an interesting story which I'm going to show you in a second. But I've also been reading about a number of children or young people who have been moved over from DLA, Disability Living Allowance, over to PIP. Now that usually happens when they get to a certain age, they move over to PIP. And apparently there are lots of those people, or young children, who are not being given PIP, so they're not qualifying for PIP, even though they have significant problems. One person who the article was about in particular was talking about the fact that she has severe epilepsy and can't be left alone in case she has a seizure. She was on DLA. She's now not being allowed to have PIP because they've said that she's been seizure free for a couple of weeks or so. So she's been denied PIP, even though she is an epilepsy risk, which I think is absolutely crazy. She also mentions in the article that I read that she's been turned down for 2 jobs because of her epilepsy. And this is what we've been saying all along, is the fact that yes, okay, you can ask people with mental or physical problems to go back into work. That doesn't necessarily mean that employers are going to be happy to employ you. There could be many reasons why they wouldn't want to employ somebody. It could be down to their insurance situation, it could be down to a safety situation. There are many reasons why an employer might decide that it's too risky to employ someone who has physical or mental problems. So this is all something the government know already. They're just choosing to ignore. But anyway, let's get over to this article and I will show you what I'm talking about. Right, so this is it. Government considers measures to protect most disabled ahead of benefit cuts. Downing Street is considering whether to introduce a measure to protect the most disabled when they cut benefits for those who are judged to be out of work. I understand that conversations are taking place as officials brace themselves for a potential rebellion over welfare cuts that will be laid out next week, including big reductions to the rate of sickness benefits. The plans revealed by the ITV said that basic rate of universal credit will be raised to try and incentivise people to stay in the work search group, but the highest level of universal credit for the most disabled or ill who have been judged unable to work will go down. At the moment, you can get more than £400 extra if you're judged too ill to work. That gap will be reduced. The measures are due to be scored on Rachel Reeves' spring budget, but sources have told me that they are likely to also consult on measures to protect at least a small group who are considered the most disabled. Comes after her colleague, or their colleague, Maya Bowles, revealed that Downing Street plans to call in all MPs to try and persuade them with the changes. That's already been done. The plans are causing huge controversy within the party. Although the reforms to universal credit can be argued as increasing the work incentive, they will see benefit cuts as millions of disabled people. And the government also plans to save $5 billion by hitting a benefit that has nothing to do with work, personal independence payment, raising the threshold to take out those who have lower level disabilities. When I revealed these plans last week, I asked how the government would protect the most disabled on universal credit, who would be among those losing money, and was told there wasn't a mitigation. But it's my understanding they are working on that now. However, it will be consulted upon. It will only be consulted upon. So they're only going to be asking people's opinions on it. Some Labour MPs reacted furiously to the leak, with many on the left taking to social media to set out their anger. But even moderate MPs have privately told me they have major concerns. One colleague in a WhatsApp group that while they agreed to principles of getting people back into work, they are worried about the messaging. They said, we have to get this right. We have gone from being well thought of last week following Starmer's leadership back to the party to appearing to attack disabled people when that is not the intent. Another said they were extremely concerned with inboxes inundated with worried constituents, but also claimed MPs were terrified of speaking out. Apparently there are some talking of rebellion between 40 and 100 MPs, as some of these PIP changes, which include freezing the benefit next year, will require legislation. So it looks as though there is a lot of rumbling behind the scenes of people who are unhappy. I don't think it's going to make a big difference. I think that the whip will probably be removed from those who are rebelling, and then they'll have their hand forced. So I don't think it's going to have a huge effect, but this could be a combination of things. You know, this could be one more reason why perhaps the party believe that Starmer might not be the right person for the job, and hopefully that will be the case. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to fall on his sword, or I'm not saying that the party are going to oust him, because I think that of all of the leaders that we've had recently, I think he seems to be the most secure in his job, and it doesn't seem to be anything that's actually getting him out at the moment. But I think if this goes badly for them, which I'm assuming it will do, then it could well be a serious issue for his leadership, and that of Rachel Reeves as well, if she's agreed to these cuts as along the way as well. So let me know what you think down in the comment section about this, about them proposing to have mitigation for those who are the most seriously disabled. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, and don't forget to subscribe if you've got this far. I'd love you to do that, and also I'll see you next time.